Simons, and maybe the only time in history he's been correct in something, dubbed the challenge the fifth great American sport.
Which they're using that now. They use it on the season 40 thing.
They should.
I think Tej said it.
It's great. So what started as Real World, but with some weird party games mixed in that were sort of arbitrary and nobody really cared about, sort of evolved year after year after year. Now we're getting ready for season 40, and it's like legitimately a great game with many layers. It's like Survivor, but
not
better.
Even really season 40. It's more like season 52 if you add in all the other nonsense.
That's true. Yep, USA and the world stuff, and then the All Stars. Yeah, absolutely. So it's kind of 3 layers. There's the physical challenges, there's the eliminations, and then there's like the voting structure. I think the political game. Whereas I think if you're watching the first 10 seasons, you're not thinking, oh, political game. It doesn't fucking matter. Now it's like really, it can be very nuanced and it's very interesting. And it's my favorite part of the show is when you get people who are actually have an IQ above 100, who are talking about like how to vote and what makes them vulnerable and how to do an alliance and seeing those strategies. It's just so good. And then the challenges are always fun. They keep upping the ante, even though they kind of nerf some things a little bit, because they don't want to hurt people or whatever. I miss the Hall Brawl where they just go at it and like they're breaking collarbones and shit.
Yeah, you can't do that anymore.
They can't do that anymore.
It's like, oh, maybe that's not great. If football's going to ease back a little bit, maybe we should make people play.
Especially
you have to hit each other.
Football players in the challenge, which is what they.
And even in like the earlier episodes, they had to introduce helmets. So like the first couple of seasons, they'd be like brawling over a ball and not wearing any protective.
Yeah, TJ is like, I have an innovation for you guys. It's a helmet. We're gonna wear those.
Again, since the audience is never going to watch the challenge, so we can do whatever the fuck we want.
They should now.
Well, okay, but we can qualify this of saying, I believe all of us combined have hardly watched anything earlier than season 12 or 15. When TJ Lavin starts hosting, Maisie has adventured in. Yeah. I have not adventured past that. Raya has not done that. Sean, I don't think you have. Chris obviously has not. So a lot of this is going to be season 20-ish on forward.
Which is when it gets really better. And a lot of that is due to the increased emphasis on politics. Bananas used to say, that they would let us bring TVs in. We're watching South Park, and now they don't do that anymore. They treat it like an actual game show with real money on the line. And I mean, they $1 million pots now, and they split it between two people.
It's almost Big Brother to a point because they're basically locked in a house with cameras, and they can't do anything. They can barely talk to their families, and they were there for 10, 12 weeks, I think some of these filming schedules are.
And now they know the camera. The camera knows now what is interesting. The storylines they go for typically now are who has the best strategy, who has an interesting rooting storyline, and not like get them all pumped full of booze and see who fucks who and who punches who. Yeah. They've gotten away from that. There is still drama, but it's much more about the politics than it is about
it's
CT punching someone.
So nice not having to watch so much sex.
You don't enjoy that?
No, it's so fucking weird, and
you don't like when they have the night vision camera up in the corner and the sheets are just bumping up and down.
No. And I think there's a conceit where you're watching people who know that you're watching them and they don't care. That is also weird. That's weird to me.
No.
So anyways, that's a challenge.
Have you guys finished the most recent season yet?
No,
you have not. Okay.
No, so we'll get there.
Pretty behind.
Okay. Which is good news because none of these people are basically on that because that was Battle for a New Champion. Yeah. And none of these people were there other than Big T, I think.
The last thing I'll say about why the challenge is so good compared to Survivor is it is a pretty regular thing to bring back veterans. Every season has some veterans, sometimes more than others. So you really get to know these personalities. You see how they evolve. You see how the relationships change, former enemies becoming allies and vice versa.
Unholy alliances.
Yeah, makes it really dynamic from season to season. And I think that's my favorite part.
Is that Tori over there? Or is Tori not on this list?
Tori is somewhere on the list.
That was before all of her plastic surgery.
That's what I was going to say. Is that pre-plastic surgery? Okay, man.
So here's what we're going to do. We're going to do a tier list of all the challengers.
That we picked.
That we picked. Yeah,
there's
many more. Yeah, but these are like the most prominent.
It's like 7 Dereks and like 8 Seans.
These are the people who were invited back multiple times, and for one reason or another, we have either latched onto in a good way or a bad way.
Mm-hmm.
So let's start with Amanda, number 1, which is a weird one to start with. Actually,
are you going in alphabetical order?
That's yeah. And I figure why not? Because like if we start with like C2, Bananas, West, like they're all going to be pretty high.
You don't want to just pick somebody. I want to pick other people I hate.
Oh, you can pick. Why don't you pick someone you hate then?
No, well, you already picked Amanda, so that's fine.
Right, that was going to say.
Problem solved.
Because I picked Amanda.
Do you like Amanda?
No, I said problem solved.
Okay,
okay.
So let's talk about Amanda. So
she's a fucking psycho.
She's one of the only people on the show who like leans into being an antagonist and like an evil person, and she does like, I'm the devil, which would be interesting if she was at all good at anything in the game.
Yeah, she like fucking sucks.
She's bad. She's never sniffed winning a final. I think she's made it probably to a final somewhere in the mini
I'm gonna go on the challenge wiki and check stats as we go here.
Yes.
Okay, that's good. Be the tech
so
guy.
she has 10 daily wins across 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 seasons.
That's so bad.
And that could be in groups, and that's not only solos. Her elimination record is 2-5.
Mm-hmm.
And she has a daily win in Challenge USA and 1 loss of eliminations in USA too.
Has she ever made a finals?
I don't believe so.
I don't think so either. And she's always like, I'm a nurse now, and my son, and I'm going to do it. We're like, we don't care, Amanda. Like, you have antagonized people for years. Your whole goal was to get under their skin. It's not endearing. And then you're doing like the Angel Reese thing where you're like, I'm the bad guy. And then something bad happens, and they're like, oh, but feel sorry for me. And so you can't have it both ways. Shut the fuck up.
But see, she also plays the character of being the villain. I mean, she's extremely a byproduct of the season 25 to season 35 range, where we like everyone wasn't a villain anymore because they weren't all drunk killing each other in the early seasons. So now we had to cast specific people to be like, you're going to come in here and be a villain, even though you have really no chance of winning in any way. And I feel like that's what the role she plays here. So like, it's like, you're going to probably put her low because you don't like her, but do you have any appreciation for the role she's playing to be an antagonist?
It's why I'm going to put her a C.
Okay.
Now, because I'll root for villains. Like, Fessy is going to be on this list somewhere. I hate Fessy, but he's really good, and he's always like a barrier every season. Yeah. Amanda's just not good. And so for me, she's a C. If she was better, I don't mind that she's a villain, even though I hate her. She's a C.
She made it to episode 18 of Spies, Lies, and Allies. I think that's the longest.
That's like the most she's ever been.
And then Tori killed her.
Yeah. So Maisie, what are you, Amanda?
I would agree.
C?
Yeah. I like your assessment.
Cody?
See, I played up all that to just put her in D because I actually really don't like her.
Okay, there you go.
So I played devil's advocate of like, okay, but you're like just really unbearable.
Yeah.
Because I'm going to forget her. Is she not up here? The version of her, Ashley.
She's Ashley, up here.
She's up here.
Why don't we talk about Ashley?
Let's just go right to Ashley.
On anyway,
right.
So
Ashley is better version of Amanda because she actually has somehow made it. I mean, she's won.
She has.
She literally
twice.
has won
twice,
and she did the fucking hilarious thing of knifing her partner. Because as the challenge, so the thing is, we can't even tell you the rules of the game because they change every single season abruptly.
Which is part of why it's fun.
There are 2 people on here who have won in a pair, and then chosen to take all the money for themselves because of the random rulings in which that was an appropriate thing. And Ashley is one of them.
They've had it happen 4 or 5 times total, and only 2 people have actually taken it and not split it.
Oh, I thought you meant 4 people have taken it.
No. So
only 2 have.
So here's my problem with Ashley is she does the Amanda thing, except she doesn't lean into the villain. No. She thinks she's not a villain, but then acts in every way where she's a fucking horrible person.
Yes.
Yeah.
She's always backstabbing. She's really annoying. She like has freakouts. I'm like, oh my god, this is the worst thing. Dave does this. Oh my god, I hate it. And then she like performs really well. And you're like, why did we spend 3 episodes of you bitching? And then you get out there, you're like, oh, I'm fine.
I have, and let's just lean back into the sex angle of all of this. She has bedded a man pretty much in every single season.
Every fucking
and
season.
Then been mad when it doesn't work out the way you're hoping. And again, maybe I'm a man, so I have a different brain. But as with a woman on the panel here, if you just hopped right into bed in episode 1 with a guy, What does that say about you?
Says I'm a fucking slut.
I don't. No. Hold on. I don't even have. Now Macy's working hard to get us canceled too. I don't have an issue with that. But, to be honest,
Sean's saving us.
No. Well, I don't. Fuck whoever you want to fuck, but then don't be like, oh, I get such a bad reputation. I can't believe people think this. Well, I think it's because your actions,
or the fact that again because they use the phrase that's really, really not appropriate, but like,
yeah.
there's that phrase that they use where it's like you're basically like you're fucking for votes. I can't remember what phrase. Like they used a really funny phrase for it. Politicking. Thank you.
Yeah.
She is probably among the best at politicking early in seasons.
Yeah. Well, true. So, but she's a B for me because she's annoying. She's so good. But she's fucking won
She
twice.
has 19 daily wins. She's 4-5 in eliminations, and she's won over $1 million in the show.
Yeah, I was gonna say, don't look now, but she's the third winningest person on the show,
and that's why I'm going to put her in A. Personally,
you know what? She's probably low A. She is probably low A.
Because again, this is like because you're right, she doesn't come in trying to be the villain, but she offers the villainness of the show.
Yeah,
and as unbearable as she is. It fucking annoys me. She backs it up. Most of the time, she does really well. She wins. She plays the politicking game well enough to get into the final or get close to the final.
Yeah.
And then make some fucking money. Now, and Amanda can't do that because Amanda loses her shit every time.
You can put her in high B. You can make a case for it because she took all the money. She has never performed well after that because you have such a target on your back when you do that.
Yeah, that was
now,
stupid.
Is it worse for her than Bananas because she's a woman, he's a man? There's some sexism going on.
Oh, yeah.
Probably, but it has, in the long run, backfired on her. Now you can say, well, she's already one of the winningest, so what does it matter?
Yeah. And so the challenge fucked this up. Yeah, the challenge fucked this up for a long time because they had one winner and a man always won when there was one winner. It's not fair. It doesn't work with the way they build finals. Then they started doing, well, a man and a woman can win together, however they've done these variations, or a team wins. As we're going to get to, a lot of the men have aged gracefully and continue to do well and win. A lot of the women haven't. Because they have fucking kids and they don't go on the show after they have kids.
Yeah.
So there's not very many women that have this long-standing run of success. And amazingly, as Chris Art just pointed out, Ashley's fucking one of them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's amazing.
Does she have kids? Do you know?
I don't.
Maybe now. But...
Maybe she does now. I don't know. Amanda has a kid. She tells me about it all the time.
I know, and she sucks.
So I'm going to talk about, I'm going to go somebody that I think is underrated. I'm going to go Sarah. Because we're already talking about the people who have been backstabbed.
Yes.
Yeah.
Sarah is, I think, probably, if you gave me one female that I had to be as my partner.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And I got to choose from anyone in history, I'm going Sarah. Because politically, she's great. She's smart. She's athletic. She has endurance. I'm thinking of like Cara Maria. She's great. All the physical challenge. She's a fucking nutcase. And she just gets crazier.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think one season, all she talked about in all of her talking heads was fucking Polly.
Yeah.
That was it.
Yeah.
That was her whole
That would
character.
be the one where they were in the house. It was the one when Brad and his wife at the time were running everything.
Yeah.
And she was just obsessing over wanting to fuck Polly,
Polly.
the whole time.
And then when they started dating, it's still all she wanted to talk about. So she's loyal, I guess.
Well, she likes to brag about how kinky all of her sex is. And so it's just like, we get it. Look at your face. We hear your hair.
So Cara Maria, she's whatever. Sarah is so good. And unfortunately, I also really like Bananas, but he fucking wrecked her, and she never went back after that.
She has one season. She has Rivals 3, right? And that's not when he backstabs her, is it? Or is that?
No, she has 2 championships.
Oh no, let's see. Wilson.
She won the season before, I believe, and then
that's correct. She never came back after Bananas knifed her and took all the money.
So she's technically 2-time champion because you're still a champion if you don't get the money. Yeah. But Bananas was like, I'm going to take the money and run. Famous line.
She has 16 daily wins. 6-2 in elimination.
Yeah, she's crazy,
and she's only made $173,000.
Well, and that's like you look at
yeah,
some of the people who won early, and it's like, well, it's chump change compared to what they do now.
So she has also, along with the 3, she has 3 other finals. She has 5 fucking finals, and she technically won Battle of the X's too, and Rivals. The last 2 shows she was on, she won. Mm-hmm. She peaked and then quit because Bananas fucked her over.
And I don't usually watch the reunion show, and I didn't watch this one except for snippets, and she had a meltdown on the reunion show too. Yep. And it's like, I don't blame her. I think you can argue he you can argue. I don't agree, but he made the right call. She betrayed him. He never forgot and whatever. But I think she legitimately was like, this is like my like bro now. And we've mended the fence and we're so good.
Yeah.
And he betrayed her.
I would argue she is, at least top 3, if not possibly the best, most successful woman. Because if she was doing this now, I think she'd have a fuck ton more eliminations and daily wins and probably some more finals. Given the field that I've seen, I think she'd be kicking a lot of different people's asses.
Yeah,
absolutely.
I hope she still comes back. I don't think it's in the cards, but to me, she's S. She's like,
I agree. It's S,
and I would say she carried Bananas that season too, which is another reason why I didn't like it. Is she was so good that she carried him through.
Yeah.
So, all right, Maisie, why don't you choose one to go with? Hurry though.
Yalla.
Wow.
We could go back to Anissa. Let's go to...
Okay, yeah.
So what's funny is, Anissa constantly gets like, oh my God, it's Anissa, like
the
fucking...
challenge, the elimination queen.
Yeah, and she fucking sucks.
Yeah.
Like, in the earlier seasons, she's like pretty good. Like, she's fine. Still doesn't make it to a final, or maybe she does. I don't know. But then, like, literally, she just like fucking falls off a cliff, but still comes back and then pretends like she's some badass, and
I don't know how many finals she's made it to. I know there's one
where she like twisted her ankle.
Yeah,
like,
and it was lately because she was known for always getting to like the episode before the final and then getting eliminated.
And getting knifed.
Every single year.
then, every single time.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So I like Anissa. She makes it really hard sometimes because she has not kept up with her training.
No.
Like her endurance is terrible. But she like really plays the victim, so like she's not like acknowledging where she comes up short. She gets mad whenever any like a partner's like, "Come on, like you can do it." Yeah. She's like, "You don't understand," and she's like, "Well, you agreed to come on the show. Like, what are you talking about?"
It's like, imagine if Sean and I were partners in the challenge, and I'm fat and slow, and Sean's like, "Come on, man, let's go," and I'm like, "Fuck you, man, I'm out of shape." It's like, well, who is that on? I think it's on me, right?
Yeah, exactly.
She probably is a poster child for everybody on the show I've seen not recognizing what they've signed up for. Yeah. Because you see it also, water events where people can't swim, height events where people are scared of heights. And you're like, have you seen the show before?
I know.
You've been on the show before. I know you've seen the show before.
I have told Raya this. The people on the challenge are the equivalent of people in zombie movies who never watched a fucking zombie movie to know how to behave in that moment. Mm-hmm. Everyone in zombie movies is like, oh my God, there's zombies. And it's like, so your version of Hollywood never had any zombie. Okay, fine. You all you fucks were on the challenge and like, oh, I grew up watching this show. It's like, no, you fucking didn't because you don't know what the fuck you're doing.
Yeah. I'm going to say B for Anissa, which is probably too high, but she's a staple of the show. She's been on so many seasons. She usually is like, she makes it decently far because the politicking is really strong.
In 16 seasons, she has 3 finals.
Well, I know
she has 35 daily wins, but again, 16 seasons.
Yeah,
she has 13 eliminations, but she also has 13 losses.
Oh, yeah. Even now, oh shit!
She's 500.
I bet you we're gonna get to this, but like, what is a good? I compare it to like 3-point shooting. You're like, oh, you only hit like 40%. You're like 40% is pretty good on threes. So with eliminations, I wonder like
I think 600 win percentage is pretty strong.
Okay,
if you look at it, especially when you've done a lot, and she's really not that far off.
Yeah,
of it.
500 is not that bad.
It can't be 500 just because if you lose, you're out, so you don't have the opportunity to win multiple in a season.
You say that, and yet eliminations don't reflect the redemption house in certain fucking seasons.
That's true.
That don't actually kill you officially.
Yeah.
I think 600 is a good barometer, just because it can't be 500. It can't be a coin flip. But just getting to 600 is good because, like you said, if you lose one, that's it. You don't have a chance to win another one that season.
I will use that as an example. And if I can call the next person, because I actually want to transition to him anyway. I'm going to take one of the big people.
Well, that's fine. Let's put Anissa though.
I'm good with B.
Low B.
I'm good with low B. Yes.
Yay! Thanks, Peter.
Okay. Yeah, Peter. This is like Physical 100, but with personality, but not always personality that you like.
And not
I will also say,
oh.
this is no longer just a dumb, silly MTV show, as CBS was like, oh shit, we can monetize this, and made a specific one for Paramount Plus, a specific one for CBS, and another specific one for CBS.
Yeah, yeah.
So they know that there's money behind all this.
All right, you were going to transition to
I want to go to Jordan.
Oh.
Because that was who Anissa was paired with in the last thing, and we were reflecting his behavior.
Yeah. Well, he started out really supportive and really nice.
On my opinion of the men in the show, there's a S tier 1, 2, and 3, and Jordan is in that order somewhere. I think he's one of the all-time best people to ever be able to.
And I wanted to sprinkle these in because we got through 4. I wanted to sprinkle one of the really good people in.
Yeah.
So I went ahead and went with him. I think he is the best one in the history of the show.
I think if you did not... So, like, Bananas got Nani in the recent season, right? She's fine. Just a decent partner. Jordan got Anissa, who every year it gets harder to get her to the final.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so you just imagine, like, what if she was not bringing him down? What could he do?
And to be fair, they came in mid-season of that show, didn't they? Like, didn't they come in late?
Like a few episodes
a
late.
few episodes in, yeah.
So, yeah.
He's so good. Endurance, so good. Physicality, drive, smart.
And he has, like, half a hand?
He does.
And so you wonder if he had a full hand. Now, to his credit, maybe the half hand, his disability
helps propel
gave
his
him
drive.
The fire that he maybe wouldn't have had otherwise. It's hard to say. Mm-hmm. But if you just look at the numbers and you're like, man, if he Fessy will not admit it, they did a pole wrestling, which is probably Jordan's worst event.
I mean, yeah.
And I feel like he gave Fessy a run for his money. Who's the biggest, strongest guy in the whole show?
Yes.
Like Jordan, like he doesn't get eliminated. It's what's his?
And so that's what I was going to transition to. So you imagine Jordan being pretty fucking good, right?
Yeah.
And I don't know if this reflects spoiler when he shows up in the season you're going to be watching right now because they have the vets come in. He is 10-5.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't. Doesn't surprise me. And then when you look at one of those, which is the pole wrestle against the biggest guy on the show, you're like, okay, well, that's a scheduled win, loss, scheduled loss, as they say.
He has only been in 7 seasons.
Yeah.
Isn't that crazy?
He has won 3 times. He has been in the final 5 times.
We'll get to this later, but he's who Wes thinks he is.
Exactly.
Yes. And it's why Wes, I don't know if you can put Wes in S. I'm going to maybe consider it, but Jordan is absolutely an S, and Jordan is better than Wes.
Jordan is.
Without a doubt.
100%.
In every area, I would say.
Yeah.
I think his politicking is a step behind the 2 others you're going to have an S tier. Just a step behind. Not bad by any means. He's good at it. He's not the best at that.
Sometimes,
Yeah, he gets a little too competitive at times and misses the forest for the trees. But that's his only weakness. He's still a fantastic all-around player.
He will do the thing of like, put me in elimination so I can test myself. And you're like,
I mean, he did the flip. I'm just going in fucking elimination.
Yeah,
Fuck this.
And then I think he got eliminated.
He got eliminated for it. I should actually rephrase because technically this list, he's been in 7 of the regular series. I'm not counting Champs versus Pros because no one gives a shit.
Yeah.
He was in All Stars 3, which no one really gives a shit. He was also in World Championships, which he won.
Yeah.
So actually, he has won 4 times in 8 legit real seasons.
Yeah.
He's the most successful player just based on appearances.
Yes.
Yeah. And he's so interesting because, like, I know we're not getting into like personal character necessarily
because he has good and bad.
But for the most part, though, he's like, okay, I wrapped up the challenge show. I'm gonna go do volunteer work.
Yeah.
I
mean, when he was running food into Ukraine, I believe,
Mm-hmm.
if I remember right, early in the war.
He's like never not doing some sort of charity work, and
he's also like an off-road race car person guy now, and
he's
shit.
Crazy.
Yeah.
So he's great. So Jordan's awesome. I'm glad we talked about him.
And I've come around because, again, I did not like him very much because I really don't like him very much because he's still kind of a dickhead.
He is a dickhead.
But it is like that's compelling TV when I'm like, oh, you're in a challenge? I want to fucking make sure I watch that. Like, you're in the final? I'm really invested in what the fuck you're doing in this final.
Yeah.
Like, every single time. I started realizing, I'm like, well, fuck, man. That's what's driving me to want to watch the fucking show.
Yep. So let's do a weird one. I would like to talk about Jenna.
Oh, yeah.
Because I love Jenna.
Such a lost potential.
What I love about Jenna is so often she's like, well, I'm just dumb and whatever. And people are like, Jenna's dumb. She can't do puzzles, whatever. And then she agrees. But she performs really well all the time. And I'm like, Jenna, I don't think you're as stupid as you say you are. And I don't know if you really believe it or if it's like a bit to take people by surprise.
Yeah.
She's good, and she's made multiple finals. Mm-hmm. She's gotten close to winning more than once, but just can never get over the hill. Zach is her biggest fucking weakness.
Yeah. And now she's married to that piece of shit.
Yeah.
And has a kid with him.
He's drug her down multiple times in season 35, which I think is the best season.
Her final season.
Yep. Who knows what she could have done, but they had a fight, and the line that kept getting repeated is like, well, Jenna just wants to go home. Sure, her heart's not in it.
Yeah.
And she's like, guys, my heart really is in it. And they're like, no, we're gonna vote you out.
No, you want to go home. You want to go home. You know, your boyfriend's gaslighting you. Just go home.
Yeah,
go get gaslit over there.
And the problem is that the challengers will look for a reason to vote someone into elimination that is not like personal. Like they'll lash on to anything so that it doesn't.
It's
reflect
effectively
badly.
a burn vote.
Yeah,
it really is effectively a burn vote.
So Zach puts you on that fucking sacrificial pedestal because he's a piece of shit. But I think Jenna's great. I think physical, she is stronger than she looks. Mentally, she does better. I mean, she has some gaffes, I think, in trivia. But like overall, she does well.
Oh yeah, but the puzzles, I mean, even like
she's made good alliances. I think Jenna's great. But she's never won, and she's only made a couple finals. I'm gonna go like high B.
She made the finals the first 3 shows she was ever on.
I think she's really good.
And then she's 6-3 in eliminations.
See, she's like sneaky.
Yeah.
Because you're like, oh, Jenna, she's airhead. And I think there's more to Jenna. I really do. So I could go low A, but it's probably high B. Just because
she has to be in front of Anissa.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh, she's definitely in front
so
of Anissa.
I go high B too, but she needs to be in front of Anissa.
Yeah.
Okay.
I agree.
High B. Jenna. I think that's pretty fair.
Yeah. I feel so bad. Her photo's so awful.
That's old. Okay.
Not as bad as Derek's. Anyways, keep going.
This is really funny.
Yeah. So let's go. Well, we were talking about Zach. Let's go, Zach.
Yeah. Fuck Zach.
You want to drop someone into the D tier?
Yeah.
Well, so here's the problem. Zach is an idiot, and he said some of the worst stuff. I think he called women donkeys one time.
Yeah. Was
really,
that when you started calling me donkey?
Probably. But mine is a joke.
That's a good look.
Mine is a joke.
Yeah. No, he legit seems to be like an actual sexist piece of shit.
Yeah.
And clearly controls his wife now. Yeah, I know, Peter. You're learning more.
So no, it's endearing. She's like, she likes it when I do it.
She likes being a donkey. It's fine.
No, Zach's rant came in the middle of like women should be subservient to their men.
Yeah.
He called them swamp donkeys.
Swamp.
Which is worse, I think. But he's one of the more physically imposing people to ever be on the show, and he's won. At least once.
He won, literally the only season he won is his Battle of the Seasons show, which he debuted.
Yeah.
And that's a little bit different of a format, so I don't really credit that one as the same.
Yeah.
Since it was everyone like trying to knife other seasons and then get certain seasons out. Like Wes got fucked over in that season pretty quickly. So he won, but he only won that one. And one of the last times I remember seeing him, and maybe it was just out of order, but he did a final where he's just whining and crying.
He does whine
the
a lot.
whole time.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you want to play up this big alpha male macho thing.
Yeah.
And then I don't remember who he was paired with, but whoever the woman was, he's like, no, you're going too fast. And he's like scared going down a mountain or whatever. Like, and he like can't, he's like having an asthma attack.
Yeah.
And like, I'm like,
he can't hike because he's like, I have so much weight. I'm so
heavy.
Strong.
And that was one of the most just like satisfying moments to be like, oh man, like you're just totally mentally breaking down right now. And your whole little veil of big tough guy man is like, wow, this is embarrassing.
Yeah.
That
he
one
got
made me so
better as the show went on. For the most part, I remember he calmed down on the terribleness.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't think I can go more than B.
And to your point, he does have 33 daily wins on 9 seasons. That's pretty good.
He's good. I mean, he's a physical fucking masterpiece.
He also has 6 daily wins on Champs versus Stars 1, as if that's the fucking any real thing that matters. And he's 4 and 5 in eliminations, which kind of makes some sense.
Yeah, he's a giant fucking man. And you have to give some credit to a person where they're like, I don't want to go in elimination against Zach. I will play my game around.
Yes.
Not being faced with him in elimination.
And there's like only like 3 or 4 people that people really desperately try to avoid. Like Bananas isn't even someone everyone you don't care about facing him.
Not really, no. Like
he just weasels his way out of it.
Good, but yeah.
But yes, Zach's one of the few. They're like, I don't want to do that in case it's physical. I'm gonna get fucked up pretty quickly.
Yep.
I think you're probably right. Just put him right next to Jenna. It's fine. Just put them right next to each other.
Oh God, that's even in our tier list, they can't get away from each other.
Just put him right there.
Nah, he has to be below Anissa.
Wow.
Because he's a fucking dick.
Okay,
he's good, but he's a
character
piece of
into
shit.
it, which you're allowed.
Yeah, I mean, if you want to hit him for sexist negative points, I mean, for some people that might be a positive. I don't know. I mean, they might think that that's a good thing if he's sexist.
The
Confederate be a trad
the
wife.
Confederate Republicans are like, our Zach is S.
Yeah, top tier.
So,
No, I think he's below Anissa.
all right, so B below Anissa.
Below.
Below Anissa. Let's talk about another problematic person then in Camilla.
Racist.
So, terrible stuff. So not only is she racist, well, actually, that's the worst thing. You led with racism, so then I was gonna bring up how she just gets trashed and like crashes golf carts.
Oh yeah,
and punches people
and punches PAs.
Not only that, but then she's also horribly racist. Yeah, but
look, she's also. Is it the Camillinator or is it Hurricane Camilla? I can't remember which one.
I think Camillinator.
She's
Camillinator, right?
Almost inexplicably,
it's Hurricane Ashley. That's the joke. Is when she's going crazy.
Hurricane Naya is the one too.
Okay.
Hurricane Naya.
We don't talk about
Camilla.
Camillinator.
Inexplicably good. Like she's amazing at making it to like finals. I think she's won at least
twice. She has 2 wins and 4 finals.
And I gotta say, how many more would she have won if she didn't get herself canceled? Not that I feel bad for her, but
she just have 10 seasons with 4 finals and 2 wins, and she's been kicked off at least 3 times. I believe.
Exactly.
So because her elimination record's fucking 9-4,
and I remember
she only lost 4 times in. What's the math on the S? Which I think she did get kicked off 3 times. I think that's actually legit.
Yeah, and at least one of those seasons, she when she was eliminated, I was like, thank God, because now the person I was rooting for has a chance. I was like, great that she was out of the way. She's such a problem. She's good at puzzles. She's smart, even though she's an idiot.
Stupid.
And like physically, there's one that stood out to me. They had to hang on to a rope, Cody, and Cara Maria, so buff, was just like, I'm just gonna hang on. Camilla like managed to like tie herself up into the thing.
Yeah.
And Cara Maria's all mad, and I was like, why? She was just smart about it. She doesn't have your strength. She found a way to win. Yeah. I don't like her, but she's resourceful.
I would also like to point out that she has a fake Brazilian accent.
Is it fake?
That's hilarious.
I swear to God. I believe she's from Nebraska.
I think Amanda made fun of her for that. Yeah.
B, that accent goes and comes whenever she chooses to sound like she's more Brazilian. And that always really rubbed me the wrong way.
It never really sounds Brazilian.
No, it doesn't, but it's supposed to be.
Nothing.
So just to be like, there's just something off about you and the attention that you desperately seek and the amount of alcohol that you consume and the 3 different racist things I think you've said in different shows. I was like, we probably could do without this. I get that people, they want drama and all that, but I'm like, maybe
too much.
And granted, then she finally, punched someone who worked for MTV, and they were like, fine, that's the final straw.
Which is like, I have a problem with too. It's like, so when Leroy was called out, you just gave her a chastising.
Yes.
But when she had a drunk outburst, which I would say is not as bad, you were like,
and then,
that's the final straw.
Crashed a golf cart and punched a PA. It's like, now it's too much. So,
how do you rank her though? Because
she's a better version of Amanda, really. Here, she's better at the game and then better at being evil.
Dominance and evil wise, she should be really high. But if we're factoring in character, I mean, she's like a D. She's like as bad as it gets. But I don't think for the most part that we should. I think we should just look at.
But you let Zach be a sexist and take a hit.
Was Maisie.
So
I can't control Maisie. She's her own swamp donkey. So
I think she has to be in C.
We can't control Maisie. Her heart's not in the game.
I want to go home.
I'm sorry. I think she has to be C. And she has to be above Amanda.
I'm going to go A because I am omitting.
Wait.
I'm omitting the character
Sean's
thing.
about to get canceled, everybody.
No. I'm omitting
Sean's
the character
voting for a racist.
Sean is pro-racism.
No, she was a force in the show.
And he was pro-swamp donkey.
Wow, interesting.
So
this D tier is going to be tough if neither her nor Zach ends up down there in that range.
Well, I've got someone to put down there, and they're going to agree with me.
Don't worry. Well, actually, we should get to them next. But so I'm A, you're C, honey. Cody, where are you with?
I just said C.
Oh, you said C.
Am I honey?
So then high C. So then she's above Amanda.
Yeah.
She can be above Amanda, but that's it.
Okay.
That's the highest.
That's it.
You fucktard.
Okay, let's go with D.
Are we not supposed to take in looks into account either? Is that frowned upon?
Looks? Oh, no, you can put in looks.
Okay, so I could just have someone's hot. I could say no,
sure.
they're S. Okay.
Sure. I mean,
okay.
It's a good way to get you canceled again. But
just want to clarify.
If you're like, well, I don't like your game, but I would tap that.
It is a bummer that the most of the craziest people are the most attractive people. I'm like, wow, it's actual like just the sampling of society.
That graph,
it's the crazy hot scale is perfect for the challenge.
It's a real thing. Let's talk about Josh.
Thank you. Okay.
So
D, as low as you can get. He can't even do math. Fuck him.
I think Josh
can't do
is.
So
you know what?
funny.
I almost want to put him C though, but I'm not.
Well, you're almost fucking insane.
No. Listen, he is in D, but he's almost so annoying and the butt of so many jokes that he almost starts to have a value in the show. Wes in his like fucking war that Wes doesn't care about, and Josh is like, he's my rival, and Wes is like, I don't even know your name, like the Thanos, you know?
I don't even know who you are.
Scarlet Witch, I don't even know your name.
Oh, that was the funniest.
Yeah. Devin screaming, Josh is crying, trying to get at Devin, and Devin saying, "What's 8 times 9?"
What's 8 times 9?
Which Josh never answered for the record. I'm just putting it out there. He punched a hole in the wall instead, which is not a good look.
That might be what 8 times 9 is.
He's never succeeded.
No.
He maybe now has made one final, but
he has not.
He has not.
I'm here. I'm going to correct all the stats
because he had a horrible betrayal of bananas, like so stupid in the last leg, and it ended up immediately backfiring, and he got eliminated.
That was pretty fucking.
All right,
funny.
so Josh here.
Where is he?
Josh has been in on 5 seasons. It feels like 30.
It feels.
Like fucking 30 because
I can't believe it's only 5.
Somehow he has a crazy outburst incident all the time between the pizza and water throwing and then crying because he got his friend kicked off, and then knifing bananas like a fucking jackass on Worlds,
idiot.
And then getting tortured by Devin, which was among the hardest I've laughed in like my lifetime. Literally flipped me on hating Devin to liking Devin because the enemy of my enemy is my friend. So
you cannot be as bad at the game, and you cannot backstab people and then cry about this is so hard.
Oh my God.
He looks like a baby. We said we're going to talk about looks. He looks like a giant baby. He acts like a giant baby.
He somehow has 19 daily wins on those 5 seasons. I don't fucking know how.
I mean, he's a big dumb guy, but like I'm sure.
I have to see how many are teams and not individual
They're probably
based.
all teams. Yeah.
He is 1-5 in eliminations in the regular game, and then 0-1 in USAs. So he is 1-6 all time in eliminations. Do you want me to throw out who was also around that same number?
Yeah, Nelson. I really thought that's where you were going.
Do you remember Jasmine?
Yeah.
Jasmine is 1-5.
Yeah. Jasmine's pretty terrible.
That's the equivalent there, of that many wins. So like a lot of people are pretty bad, but like Tyree, who you will see shortly on All Stars, by the way, is 0-5 all time, and he's basically considered to be one of the worst players because he's been knocked out like the first week over and over again.
Oh my God!
And yet Josh's eliminations is almost somehow the same level.
Let me say one more thing about Josh, just to really illustrate how bad he is. He is set up for so much success. He is part of the Big Brother Alliance, which I fucking hate. Yeah. That is so strong, though. They have Fessy and they have Casey, and then every once in a while, I think Polly maybe is part of that.
He dabbles when he's not busy fucking Karma.
Yeah, Josh is so set for success. He is one of the strongest alliances in the game and cannot get out of his own way. He's just terrible. He's just one of the worst I've ever seen. So D, he's D.
I don't think Josh is actually on this tier.
Yeah, he is. No,
where is he?
I think he's
his big dumb baby face is somewhere in there.
Oh shit!
Yeah, I saw him.
Something's covering it.
Let's really quickly not spend a lot of time on Nelson. I think there was a string where he lost in dailies 30 something straight.
The funniest season.
30 straight. That means over the span of seasons he could not get a daily win.
Yeah.
People trip into daily wins sometimes. You gotta find something you're good at. Nelson, and so often he immediately crashes. It starts, and let's say you have to keep your balance, he falls over immediately. And you're like, what are you doing?
Well, do you remember that one where he was having to swing that lady, and he was stopping the momentum?
And he just he refuses to learn. He refuses to get better. He's not good at puzzles. He's really not that good at politicking. He makes enemies all the time. He has a hot head. It's like,
and now
he
has a foot amputation because he's driving drunk.
Because you haven't finished the other season, I have to be very delicate in what I say here.
Okay.
The revelation of how he was doing in Ride or Dies with Nerys as his partner, I will just premise and say, holy fuck, was he holding her back in Ride or Dies.
We love Nerys, yeah.
She is, you will come to find out, probably going to be on this show quite a bit going forward.
Yeah, she's great.
If she chooses to be.
Good.
So, he was actively handicapping another person. He is so fucking bad for the most part in those daily wins. He has 12 daily wins in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 seasons. 12 daily wins in 9 seasons.
Yeah, it's terrible.
It should be like 20.
What are those are his eliminations? No, that's dailies.
Yeah, he is 9, 6, and 1. He has a draw in an elimination. He actually has 9 because he gets his ass tossed in so much because he's a butthead.
Yeah. So let's go.
So a D?
So D. Not as bad as Josh.
No, Josh. No. Yeah,
there we go. Okay, Fessy. Fessy is an asshole. Fessy's a piece of shit. We're now tackling the Big Brother Alliance. He's one of those people though where you avoid.
It's also Fessel. You can't call him Fessy.
I know. Well, so there's part of me that's like, okay, I respect that, and there's another part of me that's like, oh, he was this big deal. It's like he had his own talking head. I've decided to change my name. Oh, that's pretty cool. Yeah, it's almost the same, but it's like slightly different.
To me, it was the equivalent of in The Office when Andy Bernard comes in and says, "I'm Drew now."
Yeah.
Well,
and everyone's like, "No, you're Andy."
And he was literally like, I'm changing the way that I hold myself. I'm trying to not be such a dick anymore. Yada yada. And literally, the next 2 seconds, he was a fucking piece of shit.
He is a terrible teammate. Rookie. Now you look at somebody. I don't know where to put Fessy because he is more like Zach, where he's just physically imposing. You don't want to see him. His presence alone can change the game.
But he's not as good as Zach.
And yet, with all the tools at his disposal, he's made it to finals. He's still never won.
Yeah.
He regularly just flames out in weird eliminations or challenges. He's always blaming his teammates. He's a horrible teammate. Yeah. Nothing's ever his fault.
No.
It's always Casey. Oh, if Casey didn't hold me back. Bitch, Casey is fucking 10 times better than you. She's holding you back. Maybe you got to reassess. So I don't know where to put Fessy, to be honest. I'll look to you guys.
5 seasons. Only 5 seasons, and that's how frustrated you already are with
it.
Oh
Yeah.
3 finals.
3 finals in 5 seasons, you're like, that's really good, but he's never won.
He has not won. He's 5-1 in eliminations. I don't actually know how there's... Oh, he got kicked off. That's right.
Yep.
He got kicked off of one. That's his other elimination.
Yep. For shoving somebody.
Josh.
Yeah.
The pizza fight with the water. Yeah. The fact that they kicked him off the show for that when, everything had been much worse in all of the show forever.
Which Josh cried about.
Yes, he did. He cried again because he's a big baby.
I would say high C.
I'm going to go at least B. At least B for Fessy.
I hate to say that I think he's high B.
B?
If not low A. He's someone who would get...
I need someone to cheer against.
He's a good villain.
And he's a good he's a good enough threat where it's like, well, fuck, it's so satisfying when your person you want to win beats him in the final or whatever it is. It's so refreshing. Yeah. Also, watching him go into finals and have to do the eating challenge when he fails miserably at eating, that's his one downfall, is great.
True.
I would say low A. I'm low A. Cody, you're high B.
Yeah.
And Maisie is lower than that. So it looks like above Jenna, Chris.
Great. And we're gonna run out of...
Well, we're going to do lightning round eventually, but we have a little bit more time to...
Jenna, get out of the way, you bitch!
Jenna!
She's trying to stay away from Zach, and you guys still won't let her.
Okay, so there's a couple more before we get to lightning round. We should talk about bananas.
Okay.
Mr. Bananas.
I think he's a closeted rapist and psycho.
Well, but you don't have any proof of that. You're just...
There's the investigator who found out that Kyle raped that person... is investigating bananas.
But Kyle,
I think
he was not shown to rape anybody either. You gotta be careful with that.
Okay, you're right. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
you're gonna get canceled by trying to cancel.
I'm sorry.
It's cancel culture.
So, aside from that, especially because we don't know what's going on,
they duct taped someone and probably
harmless prank, right? Duct tape. Just kidding. It's not. But if you remove that, bananas is really good on the show.
It's so good.
And now. Probably politicking is his number 1 because his puzzles are not that strong. Physical stuff is pretty good. And his endurance is usually pretty good. He's normally pretty set Don't worry about it, Nick.
Oh, no.
And, but his politics are really good. Like, really, really good.
Yeah.
When I listen to, like, him and Wes strategize, it's so interesting. Bananas was kind of the reason I thought, wow, this show is really good, because it's that depth and thinking through things that I think is really interesting. What's his right? You're pulling up his record.
He has
21.
27 eliminations.
Okay.
He's 13-14.
Yeah, I mean,
but he's been on 21 seasons in which there is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 finals. So he's in the finals 50% of the time. Oh, that's the regular show, and then I guess when you get into USA, make it 11 of 22, so straight up half, and then World Championship he got obviously knocked off right away.
And then, like, what's weird is, no, World Championship, he made it to the finals there, too, I think.
It says one elimination loss there, one's World Championship.
Well, but then he got second.
You're thinking about USA, not Worlds.
Maybe I'm thinking of USA.
Yeah, you're thinking about USA 2.
Oh, I am thinking of that.
Yeah.
You're right. So, yeah, I mean, he is good at it. He makes the show more interesting. Hopefully, he's not actually a terrible dude.
71 daily wins.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah,
68 in the regular one, and then 3 from Challenge USA.
And not to be like, apologist for him. I think a lot of the time he's not necessarily trying for the daily wins either. By this point, he's so burned out.
No, he actively didn't care about winning them multiple times when it means you have to vote somebody in.
Yeah. So but that's his thinking is like, I don't want to win because if I win, I'm in a good spot politically. No one's going to vote for me right now. And I don't want to burn any bridges that I don't have to. So I'm going to choose to lose. He's like he's always thinking, even though he's maybe
and we do this sometimes for other ranking things, so that he is also a big reason as to why the challenge is popular.
Yes.
Yeah.
As creepy as he very well potentially is, unfortunately.
Yeah. He is. He's like
the struggle is he surrounds himself with people who have been canceled. So it's like
he's a co-canceled.
He's a co-canceled. Well, and I hope that he's a great person, but I don't.
Oh, I don't think he's a great person. He did steal money from a woman.
Oh, that's true.
I think he's an okay person. I think,
just
yes.
as long as he's not sexually assaulting people.
He's responsible for one of the biggest backstabs in the show.
Yeah.
But, like, he does a lot of charity work, too.
He does.
And now charity work doesn't always mean that you're a good guy.
Nice.
It could just mean, like, oh, I know my reputation is terrible. I'm going to try to improve it. But, like, he does do it a lot. So
we're going to stick him right up next to his partner that he backstabbed.
Yeah.
I think so. Well, I put him above Jordan. Personally, he's above Jordan. I think because of you two, though, I think he goes under Jordan. Is that correct?
I have Jordan higher, yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I do too.
All right. So
He's
above
never
Sarah.
been questioned.
That's true. Should we should make sure that we have time? CT.
Oh yeah.
CT is like I don't know how to Jordan-esque where like he like was at the top of his game and then retired and then came back and won and 2 in a row actually too. He's so good and he just gets better, Cody. He was always a physical specimen.
And now he's a fucking dad bod physical specimen.
No, well, he got back in shape. He was really dad bod there for a while. But he came back and he's like, oh, by the way, I'm smart now.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah?
And you're like, how did this happen? But he's like brilliant with all the puzzles.
He's so good.
All of them.
And he doesn't kill anybody anymore. Like, God, every season right now, like I literally just started one season and they had to like not have the episode on Paramount because he literally just beat someone to a pulp.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like, okay.
The unfortunate part of his history for people who have never watched the challenge is when he was very angry and all that, his brother had been murdered right before he had been on the show. Yeah. His brother got murdered in Boston one time. And then he has this on and off again relationship with DM, who then passes away from cancer almost on the fucking show because she literally leaves a season and he decides to quit with her. And then she passes away like months later.
Oh,
as she had come back. She had cancer and then came onto the show in remission, I think 2 different times.
Uh-huh.
It's not an excuse for a lot of his behavior, but he was clearly going through some shit.
Yeah.
Through most of the early part of that run when he is absolutely ending people.
Yeah.
That's so sad. I didn't know his brother got murdered.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
But then you look at it, you never want to see him in he's always doing good on the physical challenge.
Terrifying.
I can't tell you how many times there was a physical challenge where like everybody does bad except him. and he figures it out and carries his entire team.
So he has 19 seasons.
Yeah,
he's only been in an elimination 11 times
because no one wants to
put his ass in.
Yep.
He's actually only 6-5, amazingly enough, when he's in eliminations. Also, it goes to credit of how many times he's been kicked off the show. But the finals are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So 10 finals in 21 seasons. He's made the final like almost as many times as he's even gone into elimination.
Yeah. 5 wins.
And then one of those is he got stuck in a redemption house and never even got a chance to come back.
I hated that.
Out of that.
Yeah.
And then he's won 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times.
Yeah.
So 50-50 in when he gets to a final, he's gonna fucking win.
I think his politics are good. They're above average. But
he also feels like he doesn't care.
He just goes under the radar now.
Yeah.
He's like, I'm just gonna go under the radar. No one really wants to go against me in elimination, and so he's not pulling off these crazy politic moves. He's just like, I'm gonna go under the radar, and then I'm gonna win the final.
Well, it's like you said, he doesn't need to.
Yeah,
and that's the difference between like him and Banana. I don't know if you're ever thrilled to go up against Bananas in an elimination, just because he's pretty savvy overall, but no one's ever scared of him.
Yeah.
So that he has to talk his way out of situations. Wes has to talk his way out of situations. CT doesn't have to say a fucking word.
No. I think CT is probably 1-1. I think he's 1-1 on the show because, and if he was borderline for me, him then going on a different show
and
winning that show.
Yep.
I'm like, okay, well, you're just.
I have him second behind Jordan. So basically, if she says he should be over Jordan, then he's over Jordan. I'm fine with that.
Oh no, I was gonna put him in the same spot as you, Cody.
Oh well, he's gonna go right after Jordan. Jordan's
so
the best.
Jordan's our number one.
Yes. To me, yeah.
I mean, I could do worse than that. I could do worse.
CT has to be in front of Bananas because someone carried someone as a backpack and someone was the backpack. So there's no matter what we do, no matter how many times Bananas ever wins, until Bananas carries CT like a backpack, he can never be ranked higher to me.
That's true. I want to talk about 3 more people in depth. Someone in depth, but we need to go quick, and then lightning round the rest of them. Okay. I want to do Tori and Devin because they were in Ride or Dies, and then I want to end with Wes. But is that fine with you guys?
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm good with that.
Because Tori, I love Tori.
Used to be so pretty, and then she got famous and filled her lips and her boobs.
Looks are part of it.
Cheeks.
That's fine.
But
she's still really good. She got plastic surgery and then she came back and won a season. So like,
she could
it's
get
working
more
for her.
Surgery.
We should all get plastic surgery.
No.
She is. She's think to
so
me
awesome.
Right now, I'm trying to think if there's a more formidable female opponent.
Not on the show currently, no.
I don't know that there is because she is physically dominating. She's smart and she politics well. Jordan is sometimes her only weakness.
Politics.
She actually
does
politic really well. She actually does.
No, Peter. Sean was reading into not plastic. Botox.
No, I wasn't. No, I wasn't.
Not really. Oh my god.
Jesus
I'm sorry.
Christ!
I'm sorry.
I said I would never do Botox.
Wow.
Anyways,
unless ...
No, never Botox. I just think she is so imposing that I don't know. I don't know about S. I don't know if that's too high. She does have some certain weaknesses with this, like the Jordan drama. Sometimes is too much. It's too much. But if we're not going to hold that against Jordan, then we shouldn't hold it against her.
I don't hold it against her. Or Jordan.
You don't hold it.
Yeah, I don't hold it against her. No, she should go in S. I agree with you. She'd go in S.
All right. Well, then that's easy. Tori and S.
I mean, like, she's
probably below Sarah. I think bottom of S.
Okay.
I think if Sarah had stuck around, I think Sarah would have more success overall than her. I mean, she's got 7 seasons, 7 regular seasons plus USA plus World Championships, but she's made the final basically the last 4 times she's been on the show because she was in the final of Worlds, USA 2, Ride or Dies, and Spies Lies Out. So that's 4 straight finals she's made.
How many has she won? 2?
Only Ride or Dies.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, she's only won one.
Okay, well, still.
She's only won once, but it doesn't matter. I mean,
she's a champ.
She's also 5-3 in eliminations. Out of all that, she has an elimination on USA. Also, like, if she sticks around on this show, she's going to end up racking up a bunch of numbers. Especially if we do she'll be the beneficiary of we let a man and a woman win, and she'll be able to roll up actual wins out of that. I think more likely. She's also not that old yet. I don't think.
Let's talk about Devin. I think he's tricky because his early show was. He was just kind of a troublemaker who was really out of shape. And now he's really smart, really good at politicking, great with puzzles, among the best on the show. Mm-hmm. And now he's in shape enough to do well on finals.
Yeah.
And he can run, actually.
And if you want the actual entertainment value of the show without people being drunk and beating each other to death, he's really the best you're gonna get.
Yes,
because he does play because he's also not trying to heal it up the same way. Like he's not trying to play a villain. He's just instigating most of the time, and that can wear a little thin sometimes. But I'm like, well, at some point they're gonna want some kind of conflict, and I'd probably prefer that version of conflict where he's just antagonizing everyone and being annoying while not doing I'm gonna follow you around and yell at you, which I think he did one time, and I'm like, all right.
That was
production.
Too much.
Production. You gotta ease back. You can't have someone just follow someone around because it was bananas, right?
Yes, it was.
Like you can't follow someone around in the house they're forced to live in and scream at them and like, I'm gonna punch that person and then you're gonna kick me off the show. And I'm like, why am I the bad guy out of that?
Yeah, that one was.
So he does have to. He has eased back on that a tad. To find the sweet spot.
And I hesitate to use the word innovation, but like he created leases on alliances. Like I will be in an alliance for the next whatever episodes.
Yep.
And that didn't happen a lot before he did it. And then he made it his thing the entire season. And like, so he's really smart and he is good at politicking because most people trust him pretty well. He doesn't make a habit of like breaking his word.
Right.
And he does well despite it. So like,
what would you think his elimination record is? I'll tell you, he's been in an 8.
4-4.
6-2.
Damn. Yeah.
Much better than you'd actually guess.
Yeah, I was guessing 4-2.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
So Devin's good.
6-2 is pretty fucking good. And across 7 seasons with 3 finals and the 1 win now. Similar to Tori, like he's probably going to go on his way up. He probably should land somewhere in A. I'm assuming probably below Ashley. But
you could make a case for him now, borderline bottom of S. You could make the case for it. But I think with the history and everything else, I agree A. And I think above it. Personally above Ashley.
I would put him above it.
Then he can go over. That's fine.
All right. Wes is the last like main person I really want to talk about. Because you talked about Bananas being like the face of the show. And I think if there was another face of the show, you could say CT and then it would be Wes.
Mm-hmm.
And so it was such a big deal. The season, my favorite season, when they were enemies, blood enemies. And then they were like, let's do an alliance. That was the most I ever enjoyed
unholy
the show.
Alliance.
I know, but I loved it because
it's why you like Total Madness as much as you do. Which I think a lot of people don't like that season. From what I've seen, you like it just like me because that was fucking fascinating TV.
So it was fascinating on itself, but then because you have these two pretty smart people together, the way that they played the game and strategized and did the tribunals or whatever they called them in that season, it was like masterclass. It was so good. And then Wes did a stupid thing. His ego got the better of him. He's like, I have to volunteer because it's what the fans want. And he got eliminated. I think it was a bonehead play, but I mean, he's great, but he's not as good as he thinks he is. And a lot of times he outthinks himself.
Yeah.
He'll have a strategy that sounds smart on paper, but then he employs it and it's bad. And he's also had really bad luck. There was a season he played to perfection. And then they did the Redemption House for the first time.
Yep.
And it was like, and then I think he went home like the next week. And he was like, I played perfectly. What did you want me to do?
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, you know what? That's fair.
5 finals in 14 normal seasons.
Yep.
And then he's been in Worlds and USA 2 and he's like 500 in eliminations on that. He actually holds the record for most elimination wins in the regular chain of the show. The catch to that is there's a certain season in which he went to the elimination every single episode, and all it was running down the beach and doing a puzzle on the way. That was the only version of the elimination. So his inflation, I think he got 4 or 5 literally on that season alone. Mm-hmm. So his elimination numbers are like propped up a little bit, and they're not the same as he's not going in and doing pole wrestle or fucking any of that or hall brawl or shit. He literally won a bunch of them on, I don't remember what season it was. But he's just running on the beach over and over again.
Yep.
Well, and what's interesting about him is he will try to game eliminations. He'll be like, okay, I think there's a hall brawl based on how many weeks we've been here. I'm going to do whatever I can to avoid it this week. And so he is smart. Just maybe not as smart as he thinks he is.
But Devin's kind of inheriting the we're gonna just completely analyze the shit out of this on
he's
TV.
Smarter than Devin is. Than Wes is.
Yeah, exactly. Devin's the better version of it.
Yeah.
But it's like Wes's run of that to where he's just chewing up scene time over and over again, talking himself into circles, and you're like, And then again, the notable thing that Bananas always points out is Wes goes and harasses all the rookies right away and rounds them up. He's like, "You're going to the final with me. You're going to the final with me."
Too many
and
promises.
It is the funniest shit to watch someone overpromise and underdeliver so significantly every fucking time that he becomes like one of my favorite people on the show. Even though I'm like, I don't know, you're not going to win. Yeah, I know where this is going.
So do we put him in like low A because he's really probably only B, but he's so entertaining?
Yes, I think it's low A.
What do you think, honey?
Yeah.
You watched him call his partner a stupid bitch over and over again in the early seasons where he was much more of a hothead.
Lost some points.
Well,
that was that.
But was she being a stupid bitch?
No, no, she was like, she was like tired and like he was like, "Run, you stupid bitch!"
Well,
like not.
So he was Jordaning to a great extent,
but like much worse.
Yeah. Much.
Okay.
But he did make her go pretty far. So.
All right,
the good news is it's an hour 3 in and you are halfway done.
No. Well, now we're lightning rounding. So lightning round. Beth, D. She sucks and she can't perform and she's a villain.
She fucking sucks. Lower than Josh. She's the lowest of the low.
I would agree with that. I mean, it's whatever.
Yeah, I really don't like her, so you can drop her there.
Big T, she politics okay, but she does the thing, where she's never seen she can't swim, she can't do anything physical, she doesn't train at all.
You have an incomplete report card on her right now. That's all I'm going to say.
All right, so I will. You know what? Because of that, then I'll say C.
She should go in C. I would agree.
Below Amanda.
Sure.
Cara Maria, I would like to talk about more, but we're out of time. I mean, she is A.
Below West.
Okay, I think that's fair. Just someone who's politics. She just
see. I want her ahead of Ashley.
Okay.
I want her
ahead of Ashley.
That's fair. After Devin, then.
As problematic as she is, she's also more successful than Ashley.
Yeah.
And she's good. And she's won.
She is probably the most successful woman
probably
overall, I'm assuming.
Yeah, she's one of the winners.
And the trick is with her history is like she actually did get bullied a lot on that show early on.
Yeah.
And then transformed into opened herself up to her personality more to being a weirdo. And everyone's like, "Oh, you're kind of an uncomfortable weirdo."
I only see the show intermittently now. It's startling to see where she started and where she is now.
Exactly. Because I felt very sympathetic for her in a lot of the earlier seasons because a woman we're going to get to, I believe, down there, right there, bullied her for a whole fucking season for no reason.
And I don't dislike Cara Maria.
Exactly.
I wish she would stop getting.
Well, she also associates herself with issues.
Yeah. So,
as you've said.
So Corey
is so squarely a B to me.
I think he's a C because he still underperforms. And he's never won a
final. He's done better than you think.
He's always like right there, but he should do better, and he doesn't. So I think he's. Corey is I go low B. I go low B with Corey.
I'm good with low B. I just want to put him in B because he just really actually is better than you think he is.
Out of the little alliance of like Corey, Nelson, Josh, he is.
Well, he's the most the one who you can stand the most.
Yes.
1, 2. So he does have 4 finals, just so you know.
He's been to 4 finals.
He's 8-4 in eliminations.
Yeah. I don't know who this is.
That's Darrell.
Darrell is so extremely C.
Yeah.
Because they live off this vibe of like, well, a former champion, different fucking show when he won the championships. He has done jack shit on almost all these versions of this show in recent times where he is just so absolutely coasting on this weird reputation.
He's a good guy. He's nice. He politics well.
Exactly.
He's a C.
He at least he's like one of the least problematic people that's on this fucking show.
Yeah.
He's clearly just a dad at this point.
All right. So Darrell C.
Where?
Top of C.
Top of C over. Yeah.
Derek.
God, Derek sucks. Derek fucking sucks. He is the most annoying person who's ever been on this show other than Josh.
Derek is the
I can't stand this guy.
I like Derek. I think he has heart, and I think he performs for his body size. And all
that. He won't shut up.
He's amazing.
So Cody's in D. I'm probably like in B or A.
I am in A.
So then low B, Chris. Probably under Zach.
Oh my god!
No, he cannot be above Zach.
Above Zach.
Whatever.
Okay. I don't know who this is.
That's
Big Easy.
That's
Big
Easy.
I don't know anything about him.
I just wanted to put on there really quickly that it was very nice of them to offer representation for chubby people early on in this show. And then so clearly buried him over and over again.
Yeah.
Because he was introduced under Fresh Meat. So they cast him onto the challenge. He wasn't on. He wasn't on a Real World season, right?
Uh-huh.
He was on for Fresh Meat. So I just want to place him in D because he's so bad at most of his game, other than eliminations because he's big. So it actually was hard to eliminate him sometimes.
Well, right.
But he also almost died on the show.
Finished that season. He almost fucking died.
He's like dying in the show.
Oh, yeah. He had like a fucking heat stroke.
Okay, lightning round though. So D.
Oh, sorry.
Season D. DM,
above Beth. Above Beth.
Yeah,
Below
sure.
Josh. Yeah.
DM, I don't know enough about.
I think
she was actually not very good at the show, honestly.
No,
she was 1 in 5 in eliminations.
But you liked her, right, Maisie?
I mean, she's nice, but she also was kind of mean.
So C?
Yeah.
Bottom C? Above like Amanda, right?
Above Amanda.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sure.
Cam. Cam's like the female fucking
Cam's
Devin. Or maybe Devin's the male Cam. She's really smart. She's pretty usually good at the challenges. Good at politics. I like Cam a lot.
My opinion of her was medium because there was one where she and Leroy ran the whole show and they weren't really doing that well and it was really annoying. Oh, okay. So when she knifed Kyle in that season, if I remember right. And I don't like Kyle, and even I felt bad for him because he got screwed over. So she's on the current All-Stars. Oh. Very soon after she had a kid, she is clearly still mom-shaped, and my respect for her fucking skyrocketed for her going on the show. So I have her up in like A now. Like I immediately,
have her in A.
I immediately was like, "That's fucking awesome and
I
good
think
for you."
Probably bottom of A.
Yeah.
But she's
all right.
great.
But I thought it was really fucking cool that she did that.
Casey to me is S. She's imposing, despite she's very skinny, but like she always performs really well.
She's also possibly the most boring person on this.
She is very boring, which is but like she's.
But you know what? They needed that. They needed stronger competitors.
Yeah,
women's
absolutely.
side in particular.
Yeah.
She's fucking crucial to the show.
Cam and Tori, I think, all represented that. Now she's the most boring of the three, but I remember coming back and being like, "Oh, they actually have people who can win this now, and they're not just going to politic their way to a final and stumble into it."
And I know why it was done, but I actually did like her thing with Nani. I thought, we're finally giving Casey some personality by like showing her in this relationship with Nani.
You mean why was anything the relationship's fake?
No. I'm just I like it. I
she deserves to be low S for sure. Even if she is in the most annoying fucking alliance
under Tori,
possible.
But she's S.
Yes.
Yeah.
She's really good.
Awesome.
Laurel,
I don't care about.
So fucking mean.
Yeah, she is mean, but she's really good.
She's also in this new All-Stars, and she's already causing problems in the first 2 episodes.
She's a lot of drama.
Oh yeah.
And she's one of the people who doesn't think she's drama, but she is.
Oh yeah.
That's true.
But I'm
very
still,
typical.
I'm still going
white
A
woman
because no
thing.
one wants to see her. She has this reputation.
She does have. And she lives up to that reputation,
she's
which
imposing,
is different from Anissa.
So I'm gonna go A. Probably. God.
Below Cam.
No, I don't think so. I think she's like above Wes even maybe.
Yeah.
Oh shit. Okay.
And I would even
agree.
say maybe above Ashley, but
yeah, I would put her above Ashley then.
I think that's fair. Leroy, man, the best person to never win a final.
Yeah.
He's so good and just cannot get it over the finish line. I like Leroy though. I mean, A to me.
He's the top of B to me.
Okay,
you can go over Fessy.
Yeah, I
Maisie?
agree. I agree above Fessy.
Because the thing is, I feel as though Cam carries him politicking wise when they're on seasons together.
Yeah.
So I want her above him. So that's the like. I just put him in high B because of that.
And it feels like he's guaranteed to struggle at one part of a final.
Yeah.
I like that. Tony, I don't really like very much. I think his outbursts. I was trying to avoid character, but his outbursts are like relevant to the show, and he can't keep his head on his shoulders. He's an alcoholic. And
he's recovered now. All-Stars 4, you'll see.
He just like gets into fights where he like cheats on his girlfriend right on the show.
Yep.
I don't like him.
With Camilla or whatever the heck her name is.
And I don't think he's that good.
I would place he's really not as good as you would like. He wants to
he's a
when
big
he calls
guy,
himself the Tony time when he has a fucking catchfredge for how mediocre he is.
He has his own catchphrase that's bad. So yeah, I'd say C. And
I
would say like
low C.
Below like probably I don't know, probably above
Big T.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
He can at least hold.
I'd go between DM and there. That's what I would say.
Yeah.
All right, Shane. I hate Shane, but he's a very good villain because he is so fucking annoying. He usually performs decently well. He's like a cockroach.
He really that's the fucking best phrase you could use. He just rubs me the wrong way in everything he fucking does.
He's a fucking asshole too.
Yes.
He's Mean Girl. Like he reminds me of somebody who would like bully someone to kill themselves and like not care at all. Yeah. He's ruthless sometimes, and I really don't like it. I don't like his vibe.
He's like a mixture of Josh and Devin. It's just like whiny and really, and Devin at his worst, like really annoying. And I'm like, holy shit, you're fucking awful.
Don't worry, Dave. We're glad you missed this week too.
Fuck off, Dave.
So Shane to me is probably
He's D.
Let's say D.
He's a D.
He is. I mean, well,
D for Dick.
It's fine.
Yeah.
We're lightning rounding.
Hi,
Veronica,
D.
I don't give a shit. Just throw out a grade. I don't care.
I'm fascinated that you included Veronica, but didn't include the other
Her
one.
co-part.
Yeah,
I forgot who
her best
Teresa?
friend.
Oh no.
No. Shit, they're in All Stars together right
Whatever.
now.
The other lady. Anyway, she sucks.
She sucks. So like D. I mean,
Above
I think
Biggie.
her politics are good. Let's put her in C.
She's also one of the biggest bullies in the show's history back when she was younger.
Yeah.
By the way, she also fat shamed everybody when she was younger, and I don't care, but she is much larger now.
Yes.
Yeah.
And she fucking bullied everybody in the early seasons for just that. And she doesn't really win.
Let's put her in D.
Yeah,
her
D.
politics are not bad, but she's a piece of shit.
She's only shows up in All Stars and
before
coasts because of
Biggie.
politics. Big E? Z?
After
Big Easy.
Josh.
So I like Nani probably
Yeah.
more than anybody here.
She looks like a horse.
Well, that's mean.
Wow.
I like her a lot. I think she is cool.
If Nani didn't smoke, I think she'd have more wins, but she fucking chain smoked over and over again for
Oh,
years
yeah.
and then never did anything.
Oh, really?
I like
Yeah, that's what they
Nani-
all say.
I like Nani in B. She's always like solid, although she doesn't
She
overall. Her
is.
She
stats,
has to be above Anissa.
Her stats are probably not very good, but
And she shouldn't be over. That's the perfect spot, right in front of Anissa.
Yep.
Because that's like the line here where we have this. Well, I mean, I guess we have Corey behind Anissa, but like that's the line of like starting to get to like mediocre
Yeah.
but entertaining.
That's
And
great.
TJ's S
TJ
because
is
he's actually not that good of a host, but he's our not good host.
top of the tier. He's before
When-
Jordan.
It took him so long to. So everyone knows him now, and now he's known for the show. So when he's hosting, he's really just chilling and hanging out and broing out. When he early on in his run, when he's trying to be a host, he's cringy and uncomfortable. Now he's just like, fuck it, I'm here. I'm going to fucking cackle, laugh at you when you fucking
But
hit your face on
he's
shit.
developed this really interesting persona, which to his credit is good. But I look at the host of Survivor, and who's like announcing the things and being really dramatic and dynamic. And I look at TJ, he doesn't say fucking anything. He's probably not even watching.
Do you
half
think
the
that
time.
TJ is possibly stoned 80% of the time
Possibly.
when they're on these shows?
Possibly, but I like that they fear him. They seem to really respect
Well,
him.
when he shows up at the house, they're like, oh, fuck TJ's
Yeah,
here.
they're like, he's here. They don't want to disappoint him.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, S.
So, yes, he goes up to S.
1-1.
He's been around so long now. He's like the dad.
Yeah.
He is.
He is.
But yeah, his first season is so funny because he's like, we're gonna do this. You win a TV. Goodbye.
Yeah.
Thank you. This was sponsored by Burger King, so you're going to get some Whoppers when you get back to the house. Congratulations.
Before Jordan, yes, right there. Before Jordan. He
Yeah,
is the
1-1.
top of the top.
Yep.
The show would not be the same without him existing.
Well,
on
I don't
this
know if
thing.
it would exist if it was
Exactly.
still Dave Mira. There's like he was.
Well,
bad.
like when
Who was even
Champs versus-
worse? Yeah.
when Champs versus Pros and all that shit, like the Miz comes in and has
Oh, yeah.
hosted and things like that, and it's okay, but like I think Worlds, when we saw the variety of hosts, you got that vibe of like, wow, this is his show. It really just is his show.
Yeah.
They kind of need somebody who's more low key. Like the Miz is good at what he does. He understands reality TV, but he's a little too like strung out sometimes.
Yeah.
These people are also crazy sometimes. They need somebody to be more level headed in that spot.
And I like that, like he's developed this personality. Like we know he doesn't like quitters, for example. He always like really goes on that. He thinks trivia is the funniest thing in the world.
I look forward to that episode
Yeah.
because his fucking evil laughter
Yeah,
when
he's
he
a
drops him
little bit
into
of a
water.
sadist, and yeah, he's great. He's great. All right, that's our challenge tier list.
Look how even that is across all the
If
faces.
we
That's
didn't
pretty good.
convince you to watch it now, you'll never watch it.
Chris does not need to eat a hat because we did this in under an hour.
That's true.
Well, I said I was going to eat a hat if you didn't finish. Like I thought it was going to be an hour 20 for sure. To be fair, I said approximately 35 words to help us get to that point, but you did make
no,
it.
that's not fair because you just timed it with I was getting ready for the lightning round. That was the next thing. And I introed it. I said I want to do Devin, Tori, and Wes, and then we're lightning rounding.
Yes, you did do that.
I did. See, I helped.
Well, maybe
I
if you
helped.
gave us more challenge episodes every once in a while, we wouldn't
That's
have to
right.
eat up all
That's-
this
yeah,
time.
we got to fit it all in now that Dave's not here.
Yeah, because there was no scenario where you were going to get a two-parter out of this.
No.
Well, we knew that.
We don't need a two-parter. Well, I would like to do something of the challenge again someday. But yeah, I mean, I'm happy now.
I think Sean and I deserve like 10 minutes of every week's episode to break down season 40, but it's just me.
Yeah, 10 minutes of every week, 40 minutes of every week. So maybe some range in there. But yeah, season
Because I'm
40.
just saying, if we're gonna, which we're planning on literally watching most of All Stars going forward and season 40 together,
Yep.
when I think that's gonna air, it should work. I'm just saying, we're gonna be watching it together anyway.
And
I
so
can
now,
just pop on really fast.
Now everybody, Maisie will join us. We'll kick Dave off the show.
Yeah,
he's too busy anyway. And what everybody's gonna do? Peter and Nick and all them. They're now gonna watch the challenge. They're like, wow, okay, Sean and Cody and Maisie, they're so into it.
Watch
and
they're
gonna watch
40
season 40, and then we can have a dialogue.
Yes.
About it.
An open forum.
Open forum. For all the people who are probably all logged off by now, but if they ever watch the ending, then they'll see.
If you do want to watch it, I believe a ton of the seasons are still on Paramount Plus. I think is where they are.
Yeah,
it's like
the ones that matter.
Starts at 15. Yay, Peter's still here. And
Peter,
so is Nick.
To be fair, Peter, you watch Physical 100 with us, which is just the worst version of the challenge. So, and I still enjoy it. It's still a good show and it's fun.
Yeah. I would like to point out, because I started watching this show when I was much younger, because I always watched The Real World, and I started watching this show in high school. I'm so fucking proud that I'm going to watch this because it's going to be on Paramount when we were on vacation one time. And this one decided
Maisie big time.
That it's like, what the fuck is this? I think I've heard of this. This is fun. And then it took like an episode, half of an episode to be like, oh shit, she's fat. I can't wait to watch her try and swim, which is literally how this started.
Yeah.
Was you trying to poke fun at all the fat people on All Stars who are way over the hill, and that drew you into the actual regular version of the show?
Yeah.
Well, because they're all old.
Exactly. They are old and out of shape. That's what All Stars is.
Saying them being like, we're gonna Hall brawl. They're like two grandpas. Yeah.
And by fat, like, they are all legitimately out of shape. They're also all like in their late 30s, early 40s. Like, it makes sense.
Yeah.
Right.
And then I got Sean and
yes.
Sean.
So now there's the tier list. I'm pretty happy with it.
I'm very satisfied with this.
I was gonna say, this is the last chance to change anything.
No, I think it's really good. I think we filled out D. Like, look at it's
balanced,
even, and I think the S. Maybe not how I do it. But what did I say? I said 1, 2, 3.
If you take Tej out, S and A and C and D have the same amount, and then B is a little bit bigger in the middle. It's like perfect.
Yeah,
which makes sense.
Yep.
Yeah. I think Derek's photo is hilarious.
It's it shows off exactly what I think of him. So.
Also, CT looks like a fucking Bond villain in that.
Yeah, it's a turtleneck.
He does.
CT also in Roadhouse, the movie. Yeah, he has a cameo in like a bar fight.
Are you fucking serious?
Yeah, the one with Jake Gyllenhaal.
Wow.
Yeah, so CT
he's trying to one up Bananas, who had his own cameo in a movie.
CT's doing big things. Anyways, thanks for I'll let Chris do the outro, but
Thank you.
I'm trying to say we're done. We can rest now for.
Unfortunately, 1 hour 20 minutes 30 seconds. So
let me go get your hat,
We
Chris.
did the outro. We did the outro.
That's the end of the episode. Next week, Dave may also be gone. Stay tuned for that. This was Maisie's one and only appearance ever on the show. I'm just kidding. She was great. I hope she had a good time.
Yay.
We're not putting her in the intro, though. Fuck her.
I mean, that's a lot. One
I know.
episode?
We do that. We have to put like Andy in and Gary in, and I don't have time for that shit. Where am I going to find?
I think the idea of just pasting your face over Dave's and then crossing Dave's out with a Sharpie and putting your name.
I also like the idea of an intro that involves every person who's ever been on the show and just lasting like 4 minutes.
Right. It's like the montage they do at the Oscars every year.
Yeah.
The in memoriam. Or I just put in videos of the dogs and then their name.
That would be the best.
Either way. Thanks for tuning in, especially if you're on the live version. That's on YouTube. You can find us at youtube.com/@GrayAreasLive. If you're not tuning in, if you're still doing the podcast form, we have viewer feedback. You can participate. You can do all that stuff. So that's the way to go. But hey, podcast is still out there. We appreciate people either way. Thank you for watching or listening. In between episodes, you can find us at grayareas.live, and we will see you next week.